Good afternoon and welcome to AT&T Park, San Francisco for the 2012-2013 Academic Athletic Association Baseball Championship, a battle of the birds between the Lowell Cardinals and the Washington Eagles. My name is Stephen Davies. Pleased to be joined this afternoon by Sean Hennessy, our producer Michael Cronenwett, and our videographer Hans Webb. On account of their 24-6 record, Lowell will be the home team this afternoon, and they'll have their star pitcher Elijah Saunders on the hill. He gave up 4 hits and 1 earned in 6 innings for the 14-4 victory over Marshall in the semifinal round. He's 6-1 on the year with an 0.84 ERA, and he will face the Eagle trio of Jordan Wilson, Chris Yee, and Chris Howe to get things going here in the top of the first inning. Let's bring Sean Hennessy to the broadcast. Sean, it's a pleasure to be here at AT&T Park with you. Beautiful afternoon, and should be a very exciting game here this afternoon.
Well, I tell you what, it don't get too much better than this. AT&T Park here in San Francisco, California. The Giants just got done taking care of business against the Philadelphia Phillies, and now we get a chance to call San Francisco Section Baseball Finals. Stephen, I want to take a look at the schedule here, because if you go back and take a look at April 24th and April 25th, that's going to really start us off for this particular broadcast, because these two teams faced off against one another, not only back-to-back, but each team got a victory. And in the first one, it was Washington who defeated Lowell 4-1. And then on the 25th, it was Lowell who returned the favor and knocked off Washington 8-4. So what better setting for the rubber match than here at AT&T Park for the championship matchup in front of this crowd at this particular venue? It just doesn't get any better than this in terms of the championship level.
Of course, Washington are no strangers to this scenario, having won the last 2 championships, looking for a three-peat here this afternoon against the Cardinals. Looking at the schedule, you have to go back to April the 6th, where they lost 11-1 to San Francisco. They were 6-12 at that point, 2/3 of the way through the season. Then the Washington Eagles ran off 7 of the last 9 victories, including defeating Lowell, for that matter, to find themselves here in the title game this afternoon.
And you said it, Washington is kind of the favorites for this particular matchup. They are the 2-time defending champions, but you take a look at Lowell, and one of the big things that pops out at you is their 24-6 overall record. I mean, that's pretty gosh darn impressive for a team to come in at 24-6. On the flip side, Washington 13-14, but this is the rubber match. As mentioned, both these teams have faced off in the regular season. They each were able to scrape out a victory, and the deciding factor is going to be this championship matchup here this afternoon. But Lowell's going to have a great pitcher on the mound to start things off. They're going to be throwing their hurler, Saunders, on the mound with a .84 ERA. How impressive is that? 6-1 on the year. They're going to go with their ace on the mound here this afternoon, who can really change it up in terms of his velocity. His off-speed pitches can really dazzle hitters throwing in the dirt, really changing it up on the outside edge. So Saunders will be the go-to pitcher for the Lowell team here this evening, and we expect a lot from him. He's a guy that can really go the distance, and if you're going to be head coach John Donahue, why not try to use this kid for all 7 innings in this particular matchup?
You have to think that both starting pitchers will be in this game for the majority of the day, especially in the case of Washington starter Kyle, who he's going to be taking the hill for Washington this afternoon, 5-1 with a 2.45 ERA. As the teams take the field, let's give you the Washington lineup. They lead off with number 5, Jordan Wilson, the junior. He's an all-city first-teamer. He will play first base this afternoon. Chris Yee will bat second, the captain. He's a senior. He will play second base. Batting third will be number 11, the other captain, Chris Howe. He'll be starting at shortstop. Batting fourth will be Zach Deere. He'll play left field. Batting fifth will be the aforementioned Kyle Hu. He, once again, is on the mound for the Eagles this afternoon. Batting sixth is battery mate Garrett Chim, the catcher, and he's a senior as well. Batting seventh, Ryan Chan, the junior third baseman. Batting eighth will be Mike Andrzejewski. He'll play right field. And rounding out the order for the Eagles, number 1, the senior, Jay Miller. He'll play in center field. So Lowell will take the field for the first time on defense this afternoon. They have the off-white uniforms with the cardinal trim. Very nice stitched uniforms that we saw as we were hanging out with the two teams watching the Giants game. They've got that kind of Stanford Cardinal look to the uniform.
I was just going to say the old school Stanford Cardinal look with that off cream white and that beautiful Cardinal coloring on there, resembling the Stanford Cardinal.
Certainly some authentic looking baseball uniforms to be sure. Washington will wear the red tops and the gray pants, the red batting helmets. Taking a look at Elijah Saunders in on the mound. We're in number 25, as Sean mentioned, 6-1 on the season so far. A highly impressive season for the senior. 41.2 innings pitched, 59 strikeouts, 26 walks, 4 complete games, including a no-hitter against Balboa, and 2 shutouts on the season. And you have to like, if you're Coach Sean Donahue, the chances with this starter out on the mound this afternoon.
Well, absolutely. The big, hard-throwing right-hander. He's your workhorse. He's the kid that's gotten you to this particular point in the season. You got to go with him in this particular matchup. You're going to see a little bit of mixture from him. He can go off speed. He can really utilize that fastball inside, and he can go the distance, which is so important at the high school level. If you have that one kid, that one stud that can get you through all 7, it really helps out your ball club.
Here's Wilson, the right-handed bat, to lead things off here for the Eagles in the top of the first inning. The first delivery from Saunders catches the outside corner of the plate. And it's an 0-1 count to Wilson. Here's a guy that really needs to get things going. He was just 1 of 5. He did have 2 runs scored against Balboa, but certainly the rest of the lineup picked up the slack for the Eagles in the 10-5 victory over Balboa in the semis. Wilson takes another strike, and he's already facing an 0-2 count.
Saunders 0-2 from the start. That's what you want to see. Coach Donahue taking a look at his senior. He's relaxed. He's poised. Going for the strikeout here early.
From the first base side, here's Saunders' delivery, to Wilson. That's outside for a ball. 1-2 the count.
Wilson on the year with 30 hits actually leading this Washington squad. So here's a guy that can scrap and get on base for you. A pure contact hitter with a .370 batting average.
Also 20 out of 24 steals as well. So certainly a threat on the base pass. As Saunders calls time, and there'll be a conference here off the mound as Saunders appeared ready to launch his delivery there and just called time at the last second.
And if I'm Saunders, I'm wondering, hey, what the heck's going on here? I've got my catcher, Jake Simmons, coming out to me. I've got it. I've got the count I'm looking for on the 1-2. It's like, hey, let me get my rhythm going here, big buddy.
Here's the 1-2 from Saunders in the dirt. And that rolls away, so the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Simons did well to get to his right side there and prevent that from rolling to the backstop.
Simons probably wanted to make sure he had the correct pitch for this particular sequence.
Here's 2-2. It swung on and grounded short on a couple of hops. Firing across the diamond in time for the first out will be Ng, and 1 down already in the inning.
Ng getting the feel for that professional style shortstop position. He took that ball. You saw him glance at first base. I guarantee he said to himself for a quarter of a second, geez, this seems a little bit bigger than my high school field, as he was able to wing that one in there for the first out.
So 1 gone, and Chris Yee, the captain, a right-handed stick, will step to the plate. That delivery from Saunders is high for a ball. Chris Howe, the senior captain, will follow. That's certainly the way to get the nerves out there for Justin Ng, the Lowell shortstop. Took his time and was able to fire across the diamond for the outs.
And when you're in a different venue, especially one of this magnitude, AT&T Park, home of the San Francisco Giants, you get that first ball hit to you, you know you can make that throw to first base. It really calms the nerves for the rest of the afternoon.
Yee in a hitter's count here as Saunders delivers a strike. 2-1 to Yee.
Smooth follow-through from Saunders. There's no real hitch throughout his delivery. He sets at the chest, and he can really wing it in there. Full motion.
First base side, pitch is swung on. Pop to right field. Long run there for the first baseman, and that takes a bounce right in front of the booth across there on the right side. And out of play for a foul. 2-2 now to Yee.
And that was a heck of a run by the first baseman, Jasper Schur. And that was tough from his angle because he's running towards that right field line into the right field foul territory. And he's got that glove on. He's sticking it out underneath his chin, just hoping that ball's going to come down and fall from the heavens. But it was hit, and the wind was actually carrying it. And here at AT&T Park right now, the wind's actually blowing from right to left.
Yep.
So that was a difficult play right there to make, especially when you're trying to run towards that side of the stadium into the crowd.
Only about 4 or 5 steps away. So, as you mentioned, a good effort all the same. Count even at 2-2. Pitch is swung on, and that's popped to shallow right. Right fielder comes in and Gets underneath it for the second out. So he pops out to right field. 2 down for the Eagles, and that'll bring up Chris Howe. Howe batting .301 on the season. 5 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, 13 RBIs, 22 runs scored, 10 walks to 13 strikeouts here for the right-handed bat. Zach Deere will follow for the Eagles should Howe get on base. So 2 outs then for Lowell. Saunders deliveries outside for ball 1.
Actually, check that one a strike, a late call right there by our home plate umpire. You got to love that when the umps take literally a second or two to figure out if it hit the outside corner, and it did.
Saunders goes inside of that delivery. It's chopped off the bat and taken at first base for the 3rd out. So Saunders makes quick work of the Eagles in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. And we go to the middle of the 1st.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. Once again, that's playonsports.com/SBP.
Thank you, sir. So let's give you the Lowell batting lineup now for the Cardinals. Leading off will be number 32, the captain, Aaron Leon. Batting second, the aforementioned Elijah Saunders. Batting third, the catcher, number 28, Jake Simons. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Andy Glickfeld, one of the 3 captains here for the Cardinals. Batting fifth will be Vaughn Blue. He's batting in place of the shortstop, Justin Ng. So Blue, the designated hitter for the afternoon. Batting sixth, the other captain, Josh in left field, Miller in center field, Andrew Jeske in right. Here's the first delivery. It's going to be inside from who? Chris Howe will play shortstop. At third will be Ryan Chan. First base will be Wilson, and second base will be Yee. And then behind the plate, Chim and Kyle Hu on the mound. It's an off-speed pitch inside once again. It's 2 balls, no strikes into Aaron Leon. Elijah Saunders to follow.
Leong on that first pitch nearly could have had a free base on that one. It almost appeared to graze the left side of his jersey. It was so close.
It's 2-0. It's an off-speed pitch. Grounded to short, taken well. Fires across the diamond. And it's a well-orchestrated play there by Chris Howe. And now, as we mentioned in the first inning, that will get the nerves out quickly.
Howe right there making a big league throw from shortstop. We saw one back in the top of the first by Ng, and then Howe answers right back. He took that one on a short hop, rushing the shortstop position, took the grounder, and then just threw it on the crow hop. Beautiful play right there for the first out.
So here's Saunders, the left-handed bat. Lays down the bunt, and a beautiful one, and just rolls foul at the end. That's unlucky because he was a few steps away from the bag as the ball hugged the grass all the way up the third base foul line there. I'll go over for strike.
I love that. Saunders, the pitcher, coming up to the box, laying down that sneaky bunt. He's checking down that third baseman. I guarantee he was looking that direction, the left-handed batter. He was taking a look at Chan over there at third base and said, you know what, he's playing pretty deep. I'm going to see if I can sneak one down. Nearly had it as it was tippy-toeing that foul line.
0-1 the count then to Saunders. Certainly Lowell likes to play small ball if you like. And will certainly take a chance to bunt if they can. Now here's this drive, and that's hit deep to left. Saunders around first. That's going to roll almost to the warning track. Saunders will take a couple steps around second and hold up, but Saunders got all of that one, and he's on base with a double.
A two-bagger for Saunders. My goodness, he hit that one right in between the left fielder and center fielder as it rolled towards the Budweiser sign in left field. And thankfully, the outfielders closed in rather quickly. Saunders keeping the Jets going for a moment there. I thought he was going to try to leg it out for a triple, but he stood up on second. So now we've got one gone. Saunders on second. First RBI opportunity here in the ballgame.
Indeed, and Jake Simons, the man at the plate here for Lowell. Runner on second is Saunders. That pitch is swung on and hit to left field as well, but this should be playable for Zach Dia. He's underneath it, and he has it for the second out.
Simon swinging early. Basically saw the first pitch he liked. It was a high fastball. He took it to left field. And I bet if you were to ask him after that first pitch, he would probably like to have seen maybe 2 or 3. It's the first inning. It's early. Last thing you want to do is swing at a first pitch. Now there's 2 outs. So he kind of took his team out of a possible, a crucial scenario to really capitalize on working the pitch count and maybe even driving in a run.
So who working from the first base side, keeping an eye on Saunders. Off-speed delivery outside for ball 1 to Glickfeld. Andy Glickfeld, one of the 3 captains, as we mentioned, the senior, a right-handed bat. 1 ball, no strikes. Grounded right back up the middle. Oh, nice play there to dig it out, but they can't get the handle on it. Saunders gets back to third base in time. The throw is away, and then they fire to the plate. Did he get him? He's out. Saunders is out at home plate. The ball was thrown to third past the third baseman. Saunders turned on the jets and headed for home. But a great relay to the plate. And Chim able to apply the tag. Saunders hopped up. He was not happy at all. But I think they clearly got the tag on him there, Sean.
Saunders had a beautiful slide, Stephen. He was going in for the inside portion of the plate. The catcher, Chim, at the last moment, stuck his glove out. Home plate umpire came in, marked him out. That could have been disastrous for Washington. It was an overthrow by Hanover at shortstop. Third baseman was forced to grid it, and then Chan just threw a fastball into the catcher on a one-hop. Boy, oh boy, that turned out to be a solid play at home plate for Washington.
So no runs, 2 hits, 1 left on. No score after 1 here at AT&T Park.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week. From your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Top of the second inning then from AT&T Park. Glad you're with us on your home for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Elijah Saunders then has to settle down quickly after getting tagged out at home plate to end that first inning. And he'll retake the hill here. He'll face the 4, 5, 6 batters for Washington. Zach Dia, Kyle Hu, and Garrett Chim.
You know, I bet when Saunders got back into the old dugout, he looked up at center field to take a glance at that instant replay. Well, there's no instant replay being shown here at the high school level. It was such a close play at home plate. Saunders a little frustrated when he got up there. You saw him look at the home plate umpire, but it was a great second effort by that infield of Washington to get that ball back into home plate. And then at the last second, Chim was able to place the tag on the runner.
Yeah, and you have to give credit to Ryan Chan, too, because the ball came back off the fencing along the third base dugout, and he was able to fire that in to Garrett Chim to apply the out. So Saunders working from the first base side. will pitch to Zach Dia for the first time. And that fastball catches the outside corner of the plate for a strike. Pitch to Kyle Hu to follow then for the Eagles. Zach Dia, right-handed stick. That pitch is outside. For the most part so far, Saunders has certainly been working that outside corner of the plate to the right-handed batters.
And he's trying to set up that area. He feels comfortable going outside. And you see Deere really kind of crowding the plate here early.
Pitch is low and outside. 2 balls and a strike here to Zach Dia.
And Deere, you take a look at his stance, about 6 inches from his toes to the white chalk in that right batter's box. So what does Saunders do? He's working the outside edge, see if he can catch him reaching.
Here's the 2-1. And that's going to be outside as well. A long look from the umpire there. Dia certainly now an opportunity to try and put the ball in play here with a 3-1 count. It'll be interesting to see how Saunders responds here. There's the delivery swung on and fouled off to the right side. Count goes full for the first time.
Deere working the count good here, just taking an easy stroke, getting a feel for Saunders early. Work that count. It's early in the ball game, second inning. You want to get as many pitches in so that not only you can see it, but the rest of your lineup who hasn't batted as well.
Swung on, foul back to the screen, so the count remains full.
And you'll hear coaches say that all the time, Stephen. You know, take a couple looks, take a couple hacks, foul them off. That way you get a chance to see what Saunders is throwing. And then the guys in the dugout, the guys who haven't batted yet, because here we are at the 4th batter up for Washington. You still got a bunch of guys that haven't taken a look at Saunders yet. Give him a feel for it. Let him know what he's throwing.
Full count then to Dia. Here's the delivery. That pitch is swung on and hit right back up the middle for a base hit. Saunders very close indeed to snagging that one. A nice piece of hitting by Zach Dia, and he's aboard.
That was a picture-perfect swing by Zach Deere, straight back up the middle. Saunders had to scoot his head back because that ball had a trajectory that was going right for the old melon. So he got his dome out of the way because he saw that ball flying at him. But it was a great shot up the middle for a base hit by Deere.
So the Eagles have their first base run of the afternoon. Saunders will fire across to first to shorten up the lead taken by Zach Dia. He's certainly a threat to steal. Is Dia 10 of 13 on the year on the base paths. Now here's Saunders' first delivery to Calhoun. Down goes Dia to second base. It's a great throw, and he's out. Out by a couple steps. Nice throw there by the Lowell catcher, Jake Simons.
Simons all over it. Stood up quickly, and I don't think Deere got a very good jump. Infielders closed in. Simons had a strong arm right there for the throw down. Great play at second. Quick out now.
So Dia gone stealing second base. It's a 1-0 delivery. Saunders is pitched outside. So it's 2-0 now to Calhoun. Both these teams really quite proficient when it comes to stealing. Washington coming into the game with 92 of 103. Lowell 105 of 110. And they didn't get caught stealing once last year. Here's the 2-0 swung on. Hit to right field. Under it is Glickfeld for the second out. Well, a promising start to this inning for the Eagles. And they've now all of a sudden got 2 outs. And let's see if Garrett Chim makes something happen here for the Eagles with 2 outs.
Both coaches, and Stephen, you hit the nail on the head. Not afraid to put those runners in motion, and we see it early. Simons with a strong throw down to second. Both these teams, if they get runners on, they're going to be moving them.
Saunders in this inning, a little trouble finding the strike zone. His first delivery outside. Ball, no strikes. Chim, he's batting .395 on the season, 17 of 43. Couple doubles, 6 RBIs on the season. That pitch is grounded to first. Nice play over there and firing back to Saunders to get the third out. A nice play there by Jasper Schur for the third out. So Chim grounds out to first and through 1.5. No score.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. That's playonsports.com/SBP.
Bottom of the second inning. And the Cardinals felt that in the first they had a real opportunity to score the first run of this game, but Elijah Saunders was thrown out at home plate to end the inning. So it will be Blue, Vaughn, and Shure up for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, the Cardinals left that first inning with 2 hits. And, of course, they had that exciting play at home plate. It shows these guys can hit. You know, they can put contact on the ball, and it's nice for Lowell, if you're head coach Donahue, because it shows they're seeing Kyle Hu early. They're seeing what he's throwing, and they're getting contact on it.
Lost in all the excitement of that throw out of home plate of Saunders was the fact that Glickfeld was able to single to potentially continue the inning. But you're right, it's a great point. They've been able to make solid contact off Hu. We also saw that Simon's got good contact as well as he went to left field. So it'll be interesting to see how Hu and the Eagles' defense will adjust here in the bottom of the second inning. As we mentioned, it will be Vaughn Blue batting in place of Joshua Ng here in the designated hitter role for the Cardinals. So Blue, a right-handed bat, will step to the plate for the first time here against the Eagle pitcher. On the first base side, whose delivery, the off-speed pitch, and a nice one there as Blue swings and misses.
Out of all the distractions you have here at AT&T Park, the glove, the Coca-Cola bottle, the seagulls flying overhead from the batter's box can be very distracting for the hitters.
In ground side, one to third, a little tough to handle. Recovers well and fires across for the out. Nice play again by Ryan Chan.
Chan doing a great job early over there at the hot corner. Really picking up that ball. It bounced off, hit the grass, but he picked it up quickly. Saw his target at first. Took care of it for the out, but just getting back to that last point, the Seagulls usually following the Giants ball game will hover around the entire outfield, and if you're batting, it can be a huge distraction when you see them flying overhead throughout the outfield.
Josh Vaughn, a right-handed bat, will take strike one then from Hu. Vaughn batting .385 on the season. Here's the 0-1. Appeared to graze the outside corner, but umpire thought it was a little low. So the count evens at a ball and a strike. Jasper Shure to follow then for Lowell. And again, Hu looking for that outside corner. Doesn't get the call. 2-1 now.
Kyle Hu, when he stands in that bump, he sets up, and I'm not saying he throws like him, but he sets up like Johan Santana, where Johan would take his glove, as that one's fouled away, but Johan would take his glove, and he'd pretty much put it chest level, get the eyes right over the top of that glove, and he'd have both feet right over the tips of that pitcher's mound. And that's what Kyle Hu reminds me of, setting up like Johan and somewhat of his delivery motion. But I tell you what, if I could mimic a major league pitcher in terms of his standing motion, I think Johan Santana would be pretty cool.
Yeah, certainly a pitcher to emulate for sure. Count evens at 2-2 then, and Hu's pitch is off speed, and that's fouled back to the screen by Vaughn. Vaughn unlucky on that previous pitch there, as a sharply hit ball down the third base line. Didn't stay foul, or went foul, I should say, about 15 feet shy of the bag. So here's the 2-2 then from Hu. Just swung on, and that should go back into the seats as it clangs off the top of the home dugout.
And you see, that's interesting because Josh was early on the 2 previous. He was fouling them down the left side. He was sticking that bat head out a little early, and right there he was a little late. So what does that tell you as a hitter? You wait on this one a little bit because you're getting that bat head around in time. You came early. You hit that one a little bit late. Now you're going to square up and hit it fat.
7th pitch of the at-bat is high. So the count goes full here to Vaughn.
Vaughn sees him. He sees him well. He's able to make contact here. And who's looking for anything? shooting for that strikeout on 3-2.
Here it is. That one's going to be hit foul to right. Playable, though. Oh, making a great play in front of the dugout is Wilson. Tremendous concentration required that time by Jordan Wilson. He snags it right in front of his teammates there in the dugout.
Well, Wilson using that left-handed glove like he's supposed to, just sticking it over the rail and bringing that one back in. A tremendous play at first base. Getting that Washington faithful excited here early on. A heck of a grab to put 2 outs on the board and helping out his pitcher right there as well. If that one goes foul, he's got to throw another one. Instead, tack up an out on the board.
Jasper Shearer, left-handed stick. We'll take ball 1 then. Ryan Worth will follow if Shearer's able to get on base. 2 outs then in the inning. Here's the 1-0 delivery from Hu. He goes inside this time. Nice off-speed pitch. Well, Coach Fung mentioned that Hu was more of a fastball sort of guy. We've seen a lot of the off-speed action from him here in the early going. 1-1 the count. There's another off-speed pitch, and he gets the outside corner this time. And this is a nice way here for Hu to respond after going to a full count against Vaughn in the previous at-bat. He's got a chance to get the Eagles out of the inning here. 1-2 delivery, a long look in from Hu. And now Shearer will step out.
Shearer was caught off guard on that last pitch. He was caught leaning a little bit. That's why he waited and saw it all the way into the mitt.
Here's the 1-2. Pitch is swung on and hit to left field, but foul. It's about the 7th row of seats. But again, as you said, the Lowell is certainly making good contact.
Yeah. And right now you see catcher Chen going out and talking with Hu, going over this pitch count. 1-2 situation with 2 gone. He doesn't want to see Shearer get on base. You want to get out of this inning as quickly as possible. And I just got to go back to that play by Wilson at first. Such a huge play. If he doesn't make that, Stephen, this inning continues. And with the way that Vaughn was fighting him off, who knows what could have happened in that next pitch sequence. It was a great play at first base. We'll see if Hu can finish it off right here.
Here's the 1-2 then from Hu. Pitches off speed and goes to the backstop. 2-2. That time he just got a little ahead of himself there, I think. Mechanics were not good. And the delivery, good couple feet outside. How will you respond here with the 2-2? Shearer's ready at the plate. Here's the delivery. It's off speed and high. Count goes full.
So Hu missing high now, and that's always a cause for concern. You don't want to see your pitcher miss high too often. 9 times out of 10, hitters will capitalize on that. See if he can get it lower.
Full count pitch is outside, and he walks Shearer. Well, that's quite a result then for the Cardinals, because Shearer was facing a 1-2 count, gets 3 consecutive balls, and that'll bring up Ryan Worth here with a runner on and 2 outs in the inning.
Worth checking down the old third base coach, getting in the play call. Curious to see what type of lead Shearer gets at first. Only 5 stolen bases on the year. Don't expect him to go here with 2 outs.
Worth batting just .231 on the season, 15 of 65 as he takes strike 1.
Correction, Shearer with 4 stolen bases on the year.
Worth known as Milky to his teammates. 0-1 count. Hu fires across the first, shorten up the lead taken by Shearer. The 9th batter, Jesse Tom, to follow for Lowell. Runner on them first is Shearer. And it's Ryan Worth at the plate. Here's the 0-1. That pitch is swung on and fouled off to the third base side. So the count goes to 0-2. And if you call Hu right now, you need to get this third out right here and now with the strikeout.
What I'm curious now is to see this sequence of hitters swinging early and fouling them off towards the left side. They're a little bit early. They just need to sit on it, just a hair. There it is.
Whose delivery swung on. Trouble here. The second baseman goes out and making a play right at the end. It was Andrew Jeske who came in and stepped in front of the second baseman, but Kyle Hu, with a little help from his friends, able to get out of the inning. And after 2 complete, no score between Washington and Lowell.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Stephen Davies to my right, Sean Hennessy here, broadcasting to you live from AT&T Park in beautiful San Francisco, California. The Philadelphia Phillies San Francisco Giants game concluded a few hours ago. The Giants coming out victorious in extra innings as we waited along the right field sideline. The crowd erupted, and of course we had a couple stragglers that have stayed around here for this 2013 San Francisco Section Baseball Championship matchup featuring the Washington Eagles and the Lowell Cardinals. Right now, no score, Stephen, as we see Saunders back on the mound. Who got out of that jam early? He had a lot of pitches that were fouled off. Saunders, on the flip side, was struggling in the previous inning. He was a little bit wild to kind of start off his pitch sequence, but at the end, he kind of dials it in. And so far, he's really forcing a lot of flyouts. Three flyouts so far in this particular matchup with 2 groundouts, taking care of business, as we will now see Chan, Andrzejewski, and Miller to start the top of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, it's certainly been a game of defensive plays so far, and both teams really helping out their starting pitching. At some point, though, you get the feeling that Lowell maybe just have that little extra that they need to get the first run on the board here. But Washington so far have certainly, I think, proven that they're up for the challenge, but they need to get some runners on base here, and they need the bottom of the order to make that happen.
Ryan Chan at the plate, right-handed hitter, will step up to start the top of the 3rd inning here at AT&T Park. Saunders, the pitcher on the mound, right-hander, throwing for Lowell. Lean, checks at the chest, throws it in there for strike 1. Saunders 6-1 on the year, as mentioned, working his way here in the 3rd inning. No score as the count goes 0-1 to Chan. And Chan will foul that one off outside edge. Count now goes 0-2. Saunders, we've seen him do this previous 2 innings, work that outside edge.
Yeah.
That's what he wants, and he's been really aiming for that target zone throughout the first 3 innings of this matchup. Saunders with a long pause, 0-2. That one high, chin level. 1-2 to Ryan Chan, 3rd baseman for the Washington Eagles.
Yeah, the junior batting .345 on the season, 19 of 55, a couple doubles, 11 RBIs on the year.
Takes a mean stroke to center field on the move and caught at the last moment. Nice play by Leon in center field for the flyout. And that'll bring up Andrzejewski.
Chan doing a nice job of that, keeping the hands in. Great contact on the ball, but of course this field is so cavernous, especially when you get to center and right field. 399 straightaway center, 421 in the infamous triples alley. So a lot of ground here for the outfielders to cover, and Chan just couldn't keep that ball down.
So 1 gone in the top of the 3rd inning. Zach Deere, with the only hit in this particular matchup, he was caught stealing. So technically there have been 7 up and 7 down if you count the caught stealing, as there's a swing and a miss from Andrzejewski. 0-1 to Michael, the right fielder for Washington at the plate. Saunders looking great early on. Mentioned Deere had the only base hit. He was caught stealing, so only 1 hit given up as that one fouled off. 0-2 to Michael.
Andrzejewski, the only sophomore starter on this team. He's batting .200 on the year so far, but certainly had some struggles at the plate with 16 Ks, but something I'm sure he'll be working on as his varsity career progresses.
Saunders hitting the inside corner. Catches Michael looking, strike 3. 2 gone now. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, Saunders changing things up, Stephen, working the inside corner of the plate on that one.
Yeah, got the young man looking there on the inside corner. Beautiful pitch from Saunders. And he's back to his best here. 2 out already. And he's making quick work of the Eagles in this inning.
Boy, I tell you, ninth batter, number 9 here. This is Jay Miller, who fouls off the first pitch. As Washington gets ready to approach the top of the lineup. This is the center fielder, Jay Miller. Count goes to 0-1. With 2 gone here in the top of the third inning at AT&T Park in San Francisco. Saunders checks at the chest, looks down. Leg kick, here it comes. This one swung on and fouled off again. Count rolls to 0-2.
Kind of fisted at that, had his hands up high and trying to turn that down the first base line, but fouls that well back into the seats. And he's quickly got 2 strikes.
You know what we call that? The old tomahawk swing.
Yeah.
For those of you Atlanta Braves fans, 1990s, Fred McGriff used to tomahawk a pitch like you'd never seen it. I mean, he would swing eye level, almost like a Chili Davis-style swing. He would just stroke it eye level. That's what we saw right there from Jay Miller, who has an 0-2 count as Saunders fires with the breaking ball, and that one misses low. 1-2.
Yeah, Simon set up outside that time. It looked real good from here. Count goes to 1-2.
Jordan Wilson on deck. Saunders fires, fouled off the inside edge. Miller still alive. That one hit the inside of the bat. And at the high school level, these young men using aluminum bats. And I can tell you firsthand for anyone that has played baseball, using an aluminum bat, there's nothing that stings more than taking a foul ball off the inside of a bat. Your hands will vibrate for a good 30 seconds to a minute after you foul one off. Here's the 1-2. And that one low once again. Saunders looking in. Did not get the call. Count goes 2-2 to Jay Miller.
Same kind of locale there, looking for the low strike, but just a little bit too low for the umpire's liking. This is a good at bat by Miller. See if he can continue here at 2-2.
Saunders brings it in, and Miller fouls it off again, this time a little bit early down the left field line. Umpire throws a ball back over to Saunders, who will stretch it out for a moment as he heads back up to the bump. 2-2 count, 2 gone, top of the third inning, no score between the Eagles and the Cardinals. Winner of this game will be crowned the 2013 San Francisco Section Baseball Champion. Another one fouled off, this time to the right side, by Jay Miller. Doing a great job, 2 gone in that number 9 spot.
Yeah, and this is the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Miller, so getting on base here would be a huge boost for the Eagles. And certainly they're going to need production, especially from the lower half of the order.
Clitchfield playing deep at second base. Outfield close in. 2-2 count to Jay Miller. Saunders, once again, this one stroked to right field. Chasing it down and foul was Sure. I beg your pardon, that was Clitchfield, the right fielder. Vaughn was actually playing second right towards the edge of the grass, but Clitchfield was closing in. That one rolls foul. Count remains 2-2. Miller really working the count now.
Yeah, he's getting Saunders' pitch count up. And after breezing through the first 2 2/3 innings, this is some excellent play. I totally lost my train of thought there. An admirable battle here by Miller, to say the least. He's seen, I'm sure, every pitch in Saunders' repertoire by this point.
Saunders knocking the dust off the cap. Stares in at his catcher. Count is 2-2. Miller will take his time and calls timeout. Checks back at the home plate umpire. Jay Miller, number 9 hitter for the Washington Eagles.
2012 All-City honorable mention for the senior.
Saunders with another one that's fouled off. Great at-bat from the number 9 hitter, Jay Miller, who has fouled it off straight back to the right, to the left. He is all over Saunders, and right now he has his entire team up on the edge of the dugout, tuning in to this at-bat with 2 gone in the top of the third. Can Saunders finish the deal? And he does. Called strike 3. He finally gets Miller looking. It was a great at-bat, but at the end, it was Saunders who won the battle. 3 up, 3 down as we make our way to the bottom of the third inning here at AT&T Park in San Francisco.
Play On Sports will have live coverage of the San Francisco Section Boys Volleyball Championship on Friday, May 10th at 6 p.m. And don't forget to check the Play On Sports broadcast schedule page for information on all of our upcoming broadcasts from around the San Francisco Section and beyond. The Spring Championships are here only on PlayOnSports.com.
Jesse Tom, Aaron Leong, and Elijah Saunders will be batting here in the bottom of the third inning as Hu heads back out onto the mound to kickstart the bottom of the third. No score here at AT&T Park. Stephen Davies to my right, Sean Hennessy here broadcasting to you live. This is the 2013 San Francisco Section Baseball Finals. Kyle Hu working things nicely. So far, really, Stephen, both pitchers, Elijah Saunders and Kyle Hu, doing a great job early on, able to work through the lineup. I mean, heck, right here we're going to see Jesse Tom, the number 9 hitter, in the third inning. At the high school level, I mean, let's face it, it's fairly common to see your lineup go through rather quickly and get guys with 4 or 5 at-bats in a ball game. But right now, we're seeing a very good pitcher's battle. Yeah, we certainly are, and this is exactly what both Coach Donahue and Coach Fung wanted from the starters, especially in the case of Coach Fung, I believe, because I would say Lowell, especially with their starters going 17-2 on the year, should their starting pitcher get in trouble, they certainly have a lot to go from. But for Washington, their bullpen has struggled. Really, Chris Howe might be someone we might see later on in the game. He's a former pitcher of the year out here in the city. This year just limited to relief appearances. But should Kyle Hu get in trouble, we may see him. We have to see what happens, though. But with pitches like that, I think he'll be in the game for a while yet. Left fielder, number 9 hitter, Jesse Tom. Legs looking like jello on that swing as he misses on the first try. 0-1 as Hu delivers. And that one's fouled off to the backside. Quickly 0-2. Excellent first pitch from Kyle Hu there. Getting Tom to swing and miss. As Tom crowds that plate, Hu will try the outside breaking ball that misses. 1-2 now to Jesse Tom. Tom sporting the stirrups old school style with the pant legs tucked up at the knee, as are a majority of his Lowell Cardinals. And that one misses. Count goes to 2-2. They've certainly got that old school baseball look down. I love it, buddy. I love it. Anytime you could rock the stirrups and sport the pants a little bit higher, paying homage to the old school baseball players. At 2-2, this one swung on and hit right back in our direction as it bounces in the lower section of the stadium here at AT&T Park. Count will remain at 2-2. Well, Jesse Tom would have done well to pay attention to Jay Miller's at bat. Battle here in the 9th spot in the order. This one stroked deep to center field, and this one will be played easily by the Washington center fielder Miller for the first out. And even though Tom gave that a good ride, so much space out there in center field, plenty of time for Miller to retreat and take the first out of this third inning. And here at AT&T Park, it really gives you a nice visual, this pro-style atmosphere. You see those outfielders playing very shallow. And right there, Miller able to corral that one in as this pitch is low for ball 1 to Aaron Leong. Leong grounded out back in the first inning, 0-1 in this matchup. One gone here in the bottom of the third. Leong, right-handed hitter. We'll watch that one in for a ball outside. Count in his favor, 2-0. And don't forget, Elijah Saunders will be next, and he doubled in the first inning. So definitely the tough part of the order here for Hu. He gets a late strike call. That one right down the pipe by Kyle Hu. 2-1 the count now. Leadoff hitter Aaron Leong. With one gone in the bottom of the third inning. Delivery. This one way high as Leong squared away to bunt. 3-1 count now. Hitter's pitch for Aaron Leong at the plate. On deck, Elijah Saunders. The 3-1 from Hu. Fake bunt again, and that one outside for ball 4 as Leong sprints down to first base. and the Cardinals will have a runner on.
This is definitely an opportunity now for Lowell. As we mentioned, Saunders had a double back in the first. Simons gave it a good right out to left field, and Glickfeld singled. So, who here definitely needs to get his concentration going here. Try and get a couple outs.
Saunders stroked that one back in the first inning for a huge double. Nearly had a shot at a triple, but he held up a little early. Throw over to first base in time. Runner back to the bag is Leong. He'll get dirty as he dives in. One gone, bottom of the third inning. Saunders at the plate. Left-handed hitter. Looking on to Kyle who sets at the chest, stares it down, back over to first. Leong in safely. You got Aaron Leong over there at first base. 24 of 26 on the season for stolen bases. I'll take that percentage any day of the week, my friend.
Like we said, both teams more than capable of making things happen on the base pass, and can't blame who for wanting to shorten up Leon's lead here.
Who delivers this one bunted down the third base line and rolls foul. Saunders couldn't get it to stay inside that baseline. Count rolls to 1-1. As Leong will check back over to first base.
To give you an idea of the prowess that Leon has out there on base, he was about halfway down to second base there when Saunders made contact with the ball. If Saunders is able to lay down a bunt, then Leon could end up on third base. Third base coach wants a quick word with Saunders here.
And don't forget, Saunders was the man that was tagged out at home. Lowell nearly had their first run of the ball game, but he was tagged out on an overthrow from third base. Third baseman Chan just gunned it down over to his catcher, Chin, who made the tag out. And Saunders would like to get that memory fresh out of his head and start anew, as he will face an 0-1 count. Has Leong over at first. Another throw over. Back to the base in time is Leong getting dirty. You hear the Cardinal faithful give a slight boo, as they would like to see Aaron Leong get over to second base. One strike on Saunders. Here comes the pitch, swung on, and this is fouled, but rolls into fair territory. It is signaled a foul ball. It actually went off the right leg of Saunders. Count is now 0-2.
Big pitch coming up for who? So much of his attention focused on the runner on first. And quietly, he's got two strikes on Saunders here.
Saunders taking his time before he comes back into that batter's box. 1-for-1. Had that double back in the first. Faces an 0-2 count right here. Leong takes a big lead. This one fouled off right back, and he'll keep that count at 0-2. He sees the ball rather well. You can tell he's getting a lot of contact on it, squaring that bat head around. With one gone. Here in the bottom of the third inning, infield playing at medium depth. Outfield playing rather shallow. Washington looking for that possible double play ball here. We'll see if they can get it on 0-2. And Saunders hits this one left field, and it'll fall. Fair ball as Leong rounds second. Now he rounds third. Left fielder struggles. That's Deere, and the run will score. An RBI double for Elijah Saunders.
Well hit ball by Elijah Saunders to left field. It was always going to be trouble there for Zach Diaz. He had to roll to his right to try and reel it in, and as he went down to reach for the ball, it kind of got mixed up with his feet, but Leon took that big lead off first base, was already around second when Saunders made contact, and he came streaking home to give Lowell their first run of the game.
First run of the game for the Cardinals. Saunders is 2 for 2 with two doubles and an RBI as the Cardinals lead the Eagles 1-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. Coming up to the plate, Jake Simons, who fouled out in the first, or I beg your pardon, flied out in the first inning. 0 for 1, right-handed batter with an RBI opportunity. Saunders on second, takes a big lead. Now here comes the throw over, and it goes behind the second baseman. That's Yee, who did not get his glove on it. center fielder was playing so shallow. I mentioned at the high school level, those outfielders playing so shallow. Thankfully, Miller was able to get that ball back in time. If he was playing any deeper, Saunders could have went over to third base.
Well, I think the two most surprised people there was Saunders and Yee that the ball was coming their way. And you're right. It was just as well as center fielder was close by there.
Long stare down by Who. Here comes the delivery inside. Saunders goes for the steal. He's in. Safe. He steals third. Saunders with 2 doubles and RBI. Now a stolen base.
He's a perfect 18 of 18 on the season and got a great jump there. Ricky Henderson would be proud of that head first slide into third. And Lowell now menacing, already with a run in the inning. Just one out and looking for more.
That last pitch missed the plate for a ball. The count is 1-0 to Jake Simons with 1 gone. A deep fly ball right here could possibly make this a 2-0 game. With Saunders on third. Third baseman Chan playing in now. This one is outside. 2-0 to Jake Simons. Kyle Who roughed up here in the bottom of the third inning. We mentioned it before we started the bottom of the third. He was pitching so great, able to get to this lineup, but once again it was Elijah Saunders who was able to rattle him. And this one's outside once again. 3-0 now to Simons.
And I was just about to say, now would be a good time to go out to the mound and make sure everyone's on the same page here, because Who is struggling a little bit here at the moment after giving up the double. Goes 3-0 on Simons.
Well, Stephen, I'll ask you, partner, the old rule of thumb for a batter on a 3-0 count is typically to watch the next pitch and let it come in. You got a greater chance of getting on first base. But with the way Kyle Who has been throwing these previous 5 pitches and missing the plate, do you take a hack at this one with 1 out to try to get that runner in?
Well, Simons is certainly not a guy that... One thing about these Lowell batters in particular is they don't like to get to this point where they be a walk or a strikeout. They like to put the ball in play. I could see Simons taking a hack at it here. As I mentioned, he's only walked 5 times this season, only struck out 5 times. So he certainly likes to put the ball in play, but we'll have to see here. Who's struggling?
Here comes pitch number 4, high inside. Ball 4. Who walks Simons? He'll get the free base. And now there are runners on the corners with 1 gone in the bottom of the third inning. If anything, Washington now set up for the double play opportunity to possibly get out of the inning. But it will be Andy Glickfeld at the plate to see if he can tack on some more runs.
Don't forget, Glickfeld, as we mentioned, singled back in the first inning. Of course, that whole sequence ended with Saunders getting tagged out at the plate. He's got a real opportunity to blow this thing wide open right now with just 1 out in the inning.
Saunders on third, Simon on first. Simon steals second. Here comes the throw. Fake throw in safely as Simon. No throw down to second as catcher Chim decided to keep the ball in his mitt. He'll give it back over to Who. Now runners on second and third. 1 gone. That pitch was outside for a ball.
Simons runs well for catcher. He's now 10 of 10 on steals for the year. Runners on second and third now for the Cardinals.
First base and third base in at the corner. Glickfeld strokes it up towards the second baseman. No play at home. Run will score. It'll be an RBI out as that throw goes over to first. But I tell you what, Glickfeld did his job, and the Cardinals now lead 2-0.
So all he had to do was just put the ball in play. Runners in second, third. No play at the plate. Lowell up now by 2.
Vaughn Blue, number 41, will step up. The right-handed hitter. Grounded out back in the second inning, 0 for 1. Simons now at third base. 2 gone. That pitch inside for ball 1. Vaughn Blue, the designated hitter. He is hitting for Josh Ing, who is listed as the shortstop for the Cardinals. Who requesting a new baseball from home plate umpire. And he will get one. 2 gone in the bottom of the third inning. 2-0 Lowell. They have opened this game up. Here in this inning, it was all done by Elijah Saunders. Leong walked and was able to score just a moment ago. It was Glickfeld who grounded out but was able to get the RBI. Simon advanced over to third. That one misses. 2-0.
Who's still scuffling here. No activity in the bullpen for Washington.
Here's the 2-0. That one nearly hits Blue inside 3-0. Kyle Hu struggling here in this third inning.
Blue turned almost all the way around. That pitch is certainly close enough to hit him that time.
The 3-0, and it's high for ball 4. So 2 walks in this inning now for Kyle Hu as he takes a look down at his ankle, stretches out, and will head back towards the pitcher's mound.
3 walks and 2 steals have really not helped the Eagles out in this inning, because Simon stole second and Saunders stole third. Simon's right now on third.
As we see head coach Rob Fung head out towards the pitcher's mound to chat with his pitcher. Home plate umpire is actually out there as well. And usually when the home plate umpire is accompanied by the old ball coach, it's usually a cause for concern to make sure there is everything's healthy with the pitcher.
Yeah, he was reaching down for his left foot or his ankle there, perhaps, as he stepped off the mound, and that's I assume why the umpire came out. And certainly, as we mentioned, no activity in the Washington bullpen here at the moment. So, but he's certainly not looked himself here over these last 5 batters, as we mentioned, walking 3 of them, and the command has certainly not been as good as it was in the first 2 innings. So, let's just hope the young man's all right.
He took a brief stretch down at his ankles after he walked Blue, and the conference continues just outside the pitcher's mound. But Blue will be at first. Jake Simons at third. Runners on the corners. 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd inning. And we now have Josh Vaughn stepping up to the plate. 0 for 1. Flied out back in the 2nd inning.
And they're going to check on who's going to give a few deliveries here just to make sure his mechanics are sound. But I wonder if he's having a little trouble putting weight down on that left foot.
I think he hit the nail on the head, Stephen. I think it was the ankles, definitely lower body. And that's what the umpire's looking at right now to make sure this young man can continue as the lights have started to turn on here now at AT&T Park.
His left foot, when he plants it, turns about 30 degrees to the left. And you can see that I still don't think the coaching staff of Washington are all that confident right now that when he's planting his foot, it's not affecting his motion. But
well, Coach Fung has not put any other pitchers in the bullpen at the moment. All of his players remain in the dugout, and he has not made a shift. So who will remain on the mound with 2 outs, runners on the corner, and Vaughn at the plate. And now we see Chim, the catcher, relay the signals to the infielders with 2 gone. You got a force out at second, ground out over at first. Vaughn flied out back in the 2nd inning. Here's the delivery, and that's inside for strike 1. And if you're Who, that's exactly what you needed after getting those 2 walks, giving up that RBI, get that first strike in there. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and hit to right field. Right fielder moving in. That's Andrew Jeske, and he makes the out cleanly to end the 3rd inning. But the damage was done. Big inning for the Lowell Cardinals. It's 2-0 in favor of the Cardinals as we make our way to the 4th here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game that you are enjoying here tonight? Then please tell your school to sign up for the Play on Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Lowell tags 2 runs in the previous inning, leaves 2 runners on base. It was Elijah Saunders, the pitcher, who struck gold in the previous inning, who's now on the mound. He's 2 for 2 in this matchup, 2 doubles, an RBI, and a stolen base. If he keeps this up, he is well on his way to our PlayOnSports.com Player of the Game honors.
Yeah, 2 doubles, a steal, dominant on the mound. It's certainly looking good for Saunders here. There's still a lot of baseball to be played.
Top of the 4th we go. Jordan Wilson, Christopher Yee, and Christopher Howe top of the order for the Washington Eagles as they look to scrap their way back in this ball game. Fourth inning underway at AT&T Park. The Seagulls have now moved towards the right field line, towards McCovey Cove. And the wind now pushing directly out towards center field.
Amazing how quickly the wind shifts direction. As you
yeah.
mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the wind blowing in from right field, now blowing out towards center field. And you're right. I mean, the Seagulls are certainly holding court here at AT&T Park.
And traditionally, AT&T Park, home of the San Francisco Giants, a pitcher-friendly ballpark with the winds, the spiraling motion of winds that take place in this ballpark, and not only that, the dimensions of the outfield. It has typically been a pitcher-friendly ballpark in comparison to other ballparks around the country, such as Yankee Stadium, where it's not common to see a home run or two. Or I should say, rather common to see a home run or two. So here's Jordan Wilson starting the top of the fourth inning. Saunders fires, misses inside for ball one. Wilson 0 for 1, grounded out back in the first inning. He worked the count back in the first, took his time, watches that one inside. 1-0 as Saunders sets at the chest and fires. And this one inside once again. 2-0 now to Jordan Wilson.
Has to get on base here for the Eagles, as we mentioned earlier on in the broadcast. Had to establish himself early in the game. He was just 1 of 5 against Balboa, and the guy is batting .370 on the year. A patient hitter, but has the speed on the base paths as well.
Working his way outside now is Saunders, I beg your pardon, and he misses once again. So now 3-0 to the leadoff hitter, Jordan Wilson, who will do anything in his power to get on base. His team trails 2-0. The 3-0 delivery, high for ball 4. So Wilson wind sprints down to first base. Washington in business, no outs. They've got a runner on with Christopher Yee heading up to the plate. 0 for 1, fouled out or flied out back in the first inning. Getting the play call from his third base coach. Keep your eye on Wilson, folks. He will get a big lead, and indeed he does. He will look for anything here. Keep your eye on him to see if he moves over at first base. Here's the throwback in time. Wilson safe.
Coach Fung will remember back in the second inning that Zach Dia was thrown out by a mild second base. So Simon certainly has an arm.
Another throw over by Saunders. A cat and mouse game now that we're seeing between Saunders and Wilson at first base. And that pitch inside once again. He'll start this at bat off with a ball. And that will be 5 straight balls thrown by Elijah Saunders to start the top of the fourth inning. Christopher Hu will take a hack and fouls it off. Right field side. Brings the count to 1-1. Correction on the call. That's Yee. Yee at the plate. Number 9 for Washington, the second baseman, Christopher Yee. As Wilson gets his lead once again, takes that right arm, puts it between his legs, has that left arm on his left leg, and will attempt the steal. Will check back to first base. Another throw over. Saunders really keeping his eye on the speedy Wilson.
Yeah, giving him a generous lead at first as well, but Wilson certainly quick reaction time and has to get back quickly there.
Another throw over by Saunders. Saunders checking over to his first baseman, Sure, right-handed first baseman, as he takes that glove and keeps it close to the chest. This one swung on by Yee, hit to the shortstop, and that'll be a force out at second. So Yee grounds out to short, and that's Ng with the quick throw over to second base for the first out here in the top of the fourth inning.
Joshua Ng again, confident play at short. Tough play that time, ranging to his right. The throw on the money to Vaughn for the first out of the inning.
So Wilson will head back into the dugout. Yee will replace him at first base. He gets a big lead as well. One gone at the plate now. Christopher Howe. Howe 0 for 1, flied out back in the first inning. Infield playing at normal depth. Outfield playing very shallow. That one fouled off by Howe. 0-1 to Christopher Howe, the shortstop, power hitter, batting number 3 in the lineup for the Eagles. Right-handed hitter. And he's really hugging the inside of that batter's box, trying to take away that inside pitch from Saunders, who has been trying to work the outside pretty much this entire afternoon, and he misses low. Runner will go. That's Yee. Is it in time? The throw down? Yes, it is. Simons with another strong throw catches Yee, and there are 2 outs now here in the top of the 4th inning.
Washington have had opportunities today, and unfortunately they've really thrown them away. And that ball was only a couple steps to the right of Simons. He's already exhibited his arm, and he got him by a mile again.
1-1 delivery, swung on and missed. Count goes 1-2. Saunders getting his mojo back, taking the runners off the base paths, and really, if you take away Wilson's play with the force out at second, Yee saw that ball get away from Simons. As that one misses inside, it will bring the count to 2-2. But he saw the ball get away from Simons and thought he had an opportunity to get that base at second, and Simons just gunned him down. Took Washington out of an RBI opportunity.
You can tell he was kind of in 2 minds as well when he left first base.
Low pitch in the dirt will make the count full at 3-2. Saunders heads back towards the bump. Batter at the dish is Christopher Howe. As mentioned, hugging the inside of that batter's box. Saunders gets the pitch he likes. Kicks the leg up and fires. This one stroked to right field for a base hit. It goes over the first baseman. Play at first. Nearly got Howe as the right fielder was closing in. That was Klitschfeld, who nearly had an out at first. And now they're going to check the base runner, Howe, who was running to first base, and the second baseman was coming over to cover. That was Vaughn. The right fielder was Klitschfeld. And they're going to make sure that Howe is okay with the base hit.
Well, a tremendous piece of hitting, but boy, Lowell's so close there to getting the third out. And how they're broadsided, if you like, but he's okay. He'll stay in the game. But
and correction on the name pronunciation for the right fielder, Glickfeld over in right field actually made that strong throw over to first that was just a hair late. Outfielders playing so shallow it almost looks like there's a shift on.
Yeah.
So 2 gone, runner on first. That one fouled away by the number 4 hitter, Zach Deere. Deere 1 for 1, who singled back in the second inning, but he was caught stealing. Brings the count to 0-1.
Howe, a perfect 14-14 stealing this season. Takes a long lead off first.
Saunders another throw over to first base. He will keep those runners tight. And good communication with his first baseman, Sure. Another throw over. Sending Howe back. Howe appears to be just fine following that slight collision at first base. 0-1. Misses outside. Brings it to 1-1 to Zach Deere. Deere mentioned he had that single in the second inning but was caught stealing. Simon threw him out. Simon doing a great job behind home plate. Umpire yells timeout. It will give Deere a chance to refresh himself as he steps out. Now steps back in, taps the plate. Saunders checks down the pitch, sets at the chest, and fires. Brings it in there for a strike. Now it's 1-2. Howe over at first base, looking over at the third base coach, waiting for the play call with 2 gone here in the top of the 4th inning. It's 2-0 Lowell. Here comes the 1-2. Fouled away straight back. Deer remains alive. As the lights come on here at AT&T Park, the sun starts to set. A lot of cloud coverage overhanging here at AT&T Park in San Francisco. Temperature hovering in the low 60s as that throw goes past the first baseman, and Howe will make his way easily to second. Sure could not bring it in. Saunders with a low throw will now give Zach Deer an RBI chance as Who moves over to second. Saunders kicking himself on that one with the low throw. His first baseman Sure had no opportunity to corral that baseball.
And Howe did a good job there of just waiting to make sure the ball was well past the Lowell defense before he took off for second. We saw earlier with Saunders getting thrown out the plate how close the seats are to the foul lines. That time the ball took a big bounce off the fencing, and he's able to get down the second with ease.
Christopher Howe now on second. About a 6-foot lead. Count at 1-2 to Deer. Checks his swing. Look over at the first base umpire. No swing. Brings it to 2-2.
Deer worked a full count back in the second inning before singling. Now he's got a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Trying to keep this inning alive here for Washington.
2 gone. Top of the 4th inning. 2-2 count to Zach Deer. Cleanup hitter for Washington. Can he deliver? And this one's high. It will bring the count full. 3-2. Runner on second will be going with 2 outs.
This is the only batter today that Saunders has had a full count on. And both times it's Deer.
We'll see how fast Who is over at second base on a full count with 2 gone. Will it distract Deer? Will they try to catch Simon off guard? And Simon wants to think things over with his pitcher and calls for timeout.
Yeah, Simon's just want to make sure they're on the same page here. Could be a real body blow to the Eagles here. They've had runners on. They have not been able to capitalize. And a man in scoring position here, be a cleanup hitter, trailing by 2 runs.
There's the 3-2, swung on, over to shortstop. Here's the throw to first, in time to end the inning. Saunders gets out of the jam, leaves the runner on second base, has a 2-0 lead heading to the bottom of the 4th inning here at AT&T Park.
Play on Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play on Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/playonnetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com. And certainly a hero for Lowell on defense tonight has been Joshua Ng. Every time his number has been called, he has certainly responded, and that time with a great throw across the first in time for that 3rd out.
Another great throw, another great defensive job by the Lowell defense. And how about Simon behind the plate, the catcher? He's had 2 throwouts at second here in this matchup.
He also drew a walk, batting as well, and really has engineered a masterful game so far. And let's see if the Cardinals can keep it up, especially now they have a 2-run cushion over the Eagles.
Kyle Who back out on the mound, appears to be fine. If you recall in the previous inning, head coach Rob Fung and the home plate umpire walked out to the pitcher's mound to check on the health of Kyle Who to make sure he was okay and that he could continue. And, of course, if you ask any senior baseball player in what appears to be their final baseball game of their career, of course they're going to want to stay out on that mound. I don't care who you are. If you got a splinter, suck it up. You're going to make sure you play in your final game. And right now, Kyle Who doing a good job, has only given up 2 runs in this matchup. And he'll see if he can get through the latter portion of the lineup to start the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, this game is certainly not out of reach by any means. And as the Eagles proved in that prior inning, they can get runners on base. It's just getting them across the plate has been the trouble for Washington so far.
Sure, Worth, Tom to start the bottom of the fourth inning. Lowell with a 2-0 lead. Jasper walked back in the second. Left-handed hitter takes the first pitch outside for ball one. Jasper Sure, the first baseman for Lowell, had that ball slip by him in the previous inning as Saunders threw it over. Next pitch misses outside, brings the count to 2-0. He has a right-handed glove over at first, but swings lefty. And he watches that one hit the outside edge for strike one. Late strike call by the home plate umpire. 2-1 now to Jasper Sure. Bottom of the fourth inning. 2-1. Outside brings the count to 3-1. Kyle Hu, last thing he needs here to start off this half inning with a runner on first and no outs as he brings the count to 3-1. Long wind-up delivery, the pitch outside, and he does just that. It will be a base on balls for Jasper Sure.
The fifth walk of the day issued by Kyle Hu, still looking for his first strikeout, and the command certainly deserting him in that bat.
Well, you said it, fifth walk of the day. That's a cause for concern for any coach.
And you want to see the battle here, but at some point you got to wonder, will he make a move here and at least get someone warming up in the bullpen? As we're now in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Ryan Worth grounded out back in the second inning. 0 for 1 in the matchup. Jasper Sure on first base. Takes a short lead. Hu with the delivery. Here comes the bunt. Right back over to Hu. Checks second. Now has to get to first. Not in time. Both runners are safe.
Oh, he second-guessed himself there, did Kyle Hu. Good run down there from Sure, and he has some speed. He was more than three-quarters of the way down second base. Caught himself in two minds and didn't get either of the runners.
Couldn't call that possibly a base hit. Perhaps an error on the pitcher right there because it was right back over to Hu. But any way you look at it, you're going to have runners on second and first with your number 9 hitter, Jesse Tom, coming to the plate.
You wonder there perhaps if Ryan Chan had a better chance at making that play there, as he had a good jump on the ball playing in at third base. Certainly could have got the runner at first, but because Hu had to turn and look down to second base, that extra time cost him. Now the Cardinals, leading 2-0, have 2 runners on and no outs.
Sure moves to second, Worth on first, no outs, bottom of the fourth inning. Lowell leads Washington 2-0. Number 9 hitter Jesse Tom at the plate. Flied out back in the third inning, 0 for 1, right-handed hitter at the dish.
Tom took some pitches in his prior at bat, so he can certainly make life difficult here for Kyle Hu on the mound.
He definitely fouled off a number of pitches in his previous at bat in the third inning. Another bunt. This one goes over towards the third baseman. That's Chan, who throws perfectly over to first base to get the out. Nice job by Tom doing his part, though. He moves the runners over to third and second with one gone.
How about Chan barehanding that ball right off the turf and firing across with confident first out?
Top of the order we go with one out. Runners on third and second. So Sure at third, Worth at second, and Aaron Leong coming up to the plate. Grounded out back in the first, walked in the third inning. Right-handed hitter, and Hu fires. Low for ball one.
If you Kyle Hu, this top of the order has come back around all too soon for Lowell because the danger man is up next. Elijah Saunders, 2 doubles in 2 at-bats.
And boy, you said it, Saunders has been the key player offensively for Lowell. 1-0. And that pitch hits the inside corner nicely for Hu. He brings the count now to 1-1 to Aaron Leong. Leong with that ground out back in the first inning. He reached on a walk back in the third. The 1-1 hit towards the second base side. Hits off the foot. Play at first. No good. Run will score. Leong gets the RBI as Jasper Sure scores, and the Cardinals now lead 3-0.
Oh, it was a broken play there from Washington because it was a tough grounder for Yee to handle. He kind of bobbled it to his right. Howe came across from short to attempt to throw to first. Unfortunately for Howe, Yee was in the way, and he had to hold off throwing the ball because he could have easily have hit his own teammate that time. But Lowell adds to their lead. It's now a 3-0 lead here with one out.
Worth moves over to third base. Leong at first, runners on the corners with one out. And here comes Elijah Saunders to the plate. 2 for 2, 2 doubles, an RBI, and a stolen base. Not to mention he's pitching a shutout in this matchup. Give Aaron Leong credit for the RBI single as the count is at 0-1 to Saunders. Throw over to first base in time. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning from AT&T Park in San Francisco. Stephen Davies to my right side. I'm Sean Hennessy, bringing you the live play-by-play as Hu checks the throw over to third, fakes the throw, checks back to first, keeping those runners honest. Saunders, left-handed hitter, eyeing down Hu. Hu checks. Here comes the 0-1. Runner goes. Fake the throw to second. And Leong will advance easily to second base. Runners on second and third now for the Cardinals.
Third stolen base of the day for Lowell.
Saunders with 2 strikes on him here, counting Hu's favor. Gave up 1 run in this inning. The 0-2 swung on and hit down the right field line. Both runs will score as Saunders trucks his way to second, and he's in there with a stand-up 2 RBI double.
Sensational piece of hitting by the senior, his third double of the day, and probably the best one. See, left-handed bat drilled that down the first base line. Stayed about 4 or 5 feet inside of the line. No chance for the first baseman Wilson to reel that one in. Saunders clears the bases and has blown this game open.
Saunders, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs, pitching a shutout, and has a stolen base. That's a heck of a ball game right there from your pitcher as Hu checks Saunders back to second. Now coming up is the cleanup hitter, Jake Simons, who flied out in the first inning, walked in the third, 0 for 1. As he steps up with 1 out, RBI opportunity as Saunders is checked back once again to second base. Kyle Hu appears to be frustrated on the mound, giving up 3 runs in this bottom of the fourth.
And you can imagine Simons here wants to add his name to the hit parade if possible. The battery just on fire today for Lowell.
Hu checks back Saunders, throws a breaking ball that hits the outside edge for strike 1. Saunders, 3 doubles in this matchup, 3 RBIs. Hu another long stare down back to second, fakes the throw. The Lowell faithful watching a great performance by their senior, Elijah Saunders. Throw over to second, very close. Saunders makes it back at the last moment. Took a big lead as the second baseman closed in. That was Yee, who was eyeing Saunders. And Yee will continue to play rather close to second base.
Great job by Hu turning all the way around there, floating that in right to the corner of the bag, and Saunders just able to get back in time.
Another pitch outside, breaking ball misses. Will bring the count to 1-1. To catcher Jake Simons. Simons has thrown 2 runners out in this matchup. He has an RBI opportunity right now with his pitcher, Saunders, standing on second base. Big lead, nobody covering. Here comes the 1-1 hit down the left field line, foul. Just a little bit early. That will bring the count to 1-2.
Clinical piece of hitting there from Simons to be sure, and goes foul just between the 2 bullpen mounds there, but you're right, just a little early. Simons really wants to put this ball in play here and try and score Saunders if possible.
Simons sitting on it, stroked that one a little bit early. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one fouled back once again towards the left field side, and we'll do it all over again. For Jake Simons, count remains 1-2. Kyle Hu on the mound has given up 5 runs. Hu trying to work his way out of this inning with 1 gone. Saunders on second base. Hu has given up 5 total hits in this matchup in comparison to Saunders' 2. Here comes the 1-2. Another strong hack that goes foul. Simons all over it.
Yeah, he's certainly shown he's capable of getting some power behind the ball, to be sure. 7 doubles, 4 triples on the season. Doesn't strike out, doesn't like to walk. Likes to put the
Another
ball
throw
in
to
play.
second. It's a wild throw. Saunders will move easily to third base. Hu overthrows the target. A disastrous play for Washington. Will keep this inning alive for Lowell as Saunders advances to third now. And Simons, all he has to do is hit one deep in the outfield, and Lowell can possibly tag on another run. They lead 5-0 as Hu overthrows the second baseman. He tried to check back the runner, Saunders. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 gone. The delivery, outside edge, brings the count now to 2-2. Great at bat here for Jake Simons.
Yeah, they're just wearing down Hu at the moment. Certainly the walks have not helped his case, but Coach Fung over for a quick word with the umpire here.
Yeah, Coach Fung possibly going to make a pitching change here, perhaps a defensive change, and indeed they will. The count at 2-2. The question is, will that be it for starting pitcher Kyle Hu? If indeed it is, he'll have gone 4 1/3 innings pitched, given up 5 hits, 5 earned runs here at AT&T Park in San Francisco, California. The senior pitching in his final game. And Hu will now head over to second base, it appears, as there will be a pitching change. And we'll wait to see who takes the bump, and it looks like it's going to be number 9, Christopher Yee.
Yeah, 9 appearances on the season, 3-4, 4.36 ERA, 43.1 innings pitched. So he's certainly been the long man, if you like, not only starting but in mop-up duty as well. And he's going to have to get warm quickly here. He's got a lot to deal with here. Simons, 2-ball, 2-strike count. And this game's starting to slip away perhaps from the Eagles.
So Kyle Hu will actually head back into the dugout. His night is over, and Christopher Yee will take over on the mound as he starts his warm-ups in the bottom of the 4th inning with 1 out. 5-0 lead for the Cardinals. And keep in mind, the count is at 2-2. So it's rare that you see a head coach make that type of change during that particular point in the pitch count. Normally, you would like to see it done at a fresh pitch count with a new hitter coming up, but obviously Coach Rob Fung saw enough and made the move over to Christopher Yee.
I think that throw to second, which is well wide of the target, probably was the final blow there. Unfortunately for Hu, as we mentioned back in the previous inning, he'd shown some had some sort of issue with the left ankle, and perhaps it's contributed to it a bit as well. But certainly it's got to be a little demoralizing as well, the way that Saunders and the rest of the Cardinal offense have carried on here. 2 runs in the 3rd, now 3 in the 4th. And this game has certainly got away from the Eagles.
Temperature now at 57 degrees here at AT&T Park in San Francisco. The wind blowing directly out towards center field. The Seagulls flying around earlier this afternoon. The Philadelphia Phillies and San Francisco Giants went at it for a 12:45 first pitch. Game went extra innings all the way to the 10th. We stuck around and watched the action, as did the Washington baseball team and the Lowell baseball team. And the fans of both squads had a chance to see some free baseball as we hovered around the right field fence here at beautiful AT&T Park. A great atmosphere for high school baseball here in the San Francisco section.
Well, they still haven't decided who's playing second base yet. When you got 3 infielders out for Washington at the moment. They've got Kyle Hu's line up on the scoreboard here. 3 in the third innings pitch, 5 hits, 5 runs, 5 walks, no strikeouts. And those walks certainly did not help matters for the Eagles here at AT&T Park this afternoon.
Christopher Yee, right-handed thrower. Takes a lot of time in his throwing motion as he really kicks that leg nice and high.
So who is going to play second base? He's just now trotting out to his position.
There he is. Looks like he probably went to grab his infielder's glove in the dugout. And now he will indeed, Stephen, play over at second base. Saunders will put on the jacket at third. He advanced to third on the overthrow by Hu. Hu's over at second now. Yee is on the mound. Elijah Saunders, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs, pitching a shutout, and he's also got a stolen base. He's wearing the pitcher's jacket at third. Potential RBI opportunity with 1 gone, the count at 2-2. Yee fires this one, hit over to right field. The runner will tag. There's the out. Saunders on the move, and that one well late as Saunders scores, and that will make it now 6-0 in favor of the Cardinals.
You can add 2 runs scored to Elijah Saunders' line. Good throw in there, from Andrew Jeske, but Saunders too much speed down the line, and the Cardinals now 4 runs in the inning.
Andy Glickfeld to the plate. No runners on, 2 gone in the bottom of the 4th inning. 6-0 Lowell over Washington. Saunders back into the dugout. This one swung on and hit to right field. This will be Andrew Jeske, who is able to make the play for the out. So the inning comes to a close as Glickfeld flies out. But the damage was done. A big 4th inning as 4 runs cross the plate for the Cardinals. They lead this one 6-0 over Washington. You're tuning in to PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
Play on Sports will have live coverage of the San Francisco Section Boys Volleyball Championship this Friday, May 10th at 6 p.m. And, of course, don't forget to check the Play on Sports broadcast schedule page for information on all of our upcoming broadcasts from around the San Francisco section and beyond. The spring championships are here, only on PlayOnSports.com, and we will certainly be all over the place in the coming weeks in the North Coast section, the Central Coast, the Northern section, and, of course, here in the great city of San Francisco. Sean, busy times for us here at Play on Sports.
Busy times is an understatement, my friend, folks. If you want to watch high school coverage, tune in to Play on Sports. We will have everything: baseball, softball, boys volleyball, anything you could think of, track and field for the spring sports. They all will take place here right now and through the remaining weeks of the 2013 school year. Play on Sports is your destination for high school sports in the state of California, the San Francisco section, the Central Coast section, the North Coast section, the Central section, the Sac Joaquin section, the Northern section. We'll have it all right here on PlayOnSports.com as the spring season playoffs and championships start to wind down.
And a quick programming note, if I may. In addition to the Boys Volleyball Championship on Friday, May 10th, we're also doing the Girls Softball Softball Championship on Tuesday, May 14th. And then on the 25th, the Saturday, the San Francisco section, boys and girls track and field as well. So certainly plenty of entertainment for you San Francisco section fans of high school sports.
Kyle Hu, Garrett Cheam, and Ryan Chan, will be leading off the top of the 5th inning for the Washington Eagles. They trail 6-0, 4 runs put up in that previous half inning a moment ago by the Lowell Cardinals. They scored 2 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th. And now it will be Hu, Chim, and Chan to start the top of the 5th inning. Hu flied out back in the 2nd, 0 for 1. Saunders on the mound, pitching beautifully, giving up only 2 hits thus far. First pitch outside for ball 1.
Faced just 1 over the minimum so far. 13 batters. And you can imagine who would like to make him pay right here and get the first runner on for Washington.
Next pitch hits the stripe. We'll bring the count to 1-1. Kyle Hu now playing second base. Started the game off pitching for the Washington Eagles. Gave up 4 runs in the previous inning. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and hit towards the second baseman. This is Yee. Correction, that is Vaughn with the easy throw over to first base for the first out.
Softly hit ground in the second base there. No trouble for Vaughn. And an easy throw to Scher at first for the first out of the inning.
So Garrett steps up to the plate. Grounded out back in the second, 0 for 1. As he takes the first pitch high for ball 1.
Long layoff for Saunders after that last inning with 4 runs scored by the Cardinals, especially with the pitching change as well.
As he throws that one in there for a strike, brings it to 1-1. But I tell you what, with all the hitting that he's been doing and all the base running he's been doing,
true.
he was able to stay warm. And I know they put that pitcher's jacket on him when he was on third, but the kid has been moving. As he fires that one in there low, brings it to 2-1.
That's true. He has done an awful lot of running the bases tonight.
I mean, you think of him as a standard pitcher, but that kid can flat out hit with 3 doubles. 3 RBIs in this matchup. And don't forget the stolen base. 2-1 high, and it actually hits the chest portion of the strike zone, says our home plate umpire. 2-2 now to Chim, right-handed hitter. Hugging that chalk in the right batter's box as Saunders sets at the chest, looks in and brings it. Inside for strike 3. Catches Chim looking.
Third strikeout of the day for Saunders, all looking, and he was crowding the inside portion of the plate. And yet Saunders is able to thread it right over the black for the strikeout.
So Chim goes down looking, 2 gone in the top of the 5th inning. Saunders pitching himself a gem. 2-hit shutout thus far with 2 gone. Fires it in there, misses outside for ball 1 to the third baseman, Ryan Chan, at the plate now. Number 7 hitter for Washington. Saunders sets and brings it once again. He misses low. 2-0. Saunders will look back at this game and tell his kids one day, I went 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, and a stolen base at AT&T Park. I swear I did it because you can watch it on PlayOnSports.com. That's exactly what he's going to do.
It sounds like Al Bundy a little bit when he scored 4 touchdowns in his final high school game.
4 touchdowns in one game, my friend. I love it. The old Bundy plug. Saunders, Bundy S here at AT&T. 3-0, and he misses outside and walks the hitter, Ryan Chan. So Chan moves to first base, 2 outs. And that'll bring the number 8 hitter, Michael Andrzejewski, to the plate. Right fielder, right-handed batter. Was caught looking back in the third. 0 for 1 thus far.
Yeah, looking on 3 pitches as well.
So Andrzejewski at the plate. He'll have Chan over at first. Medium-sized lead. Here's the first pitch, and that's strike 1. Saunders sporting those old-school stirrups that we like to see. 0-1. Second throw in. Misses low. Brings it to 1-1. Chan over at first. Looking back at his first base coach. His team trails 6-0. With 2 gone in the top of the 5th inning. Takes an extra step over at first. Sure, the first baseman holding. There's the throw over. Back in time.
I was just about to say, he's got a great move over to first, too. Very compact turn and a quick throw across. And he's definitely showing up the lead that these Eagle base runners have taken so far today.
It's lightning fast. There's no hitch in that throw over, as that one misses in the dirt. 2-1 to Andrew Jeske, who looks over at the third base coach, relaying the signals. 2 outs, 2 balls, 1 strike. Saunders on the mound. Saunders with 2 walks in this matchup, as that one misses high. Will bring the count to 3-1. He walked Chan and then also walked Wilson back in the 4th.
Yeah, if my count's correct, walked Chan on 4 pitches. He's in danger here of his back-to-back walks for the first time in this game.
3 balls, 1 strike to Andrew Jeske. Number 9 hitter Jay Miller on deck. Chan over at first. Takes a step off. Check swing, strike called in there. Will bring the count full at 3-2. So number 8 hitter Michael Andrew Jeske with a full count, 2 gone, top of the 5th inning. Has his teammate Ryan Chan on first. His team trails 6-0. Here comes the 3-2, fouled off towards the right side.
It's the 4th full count of the game for Saunders. And on 2 of those, he gave up singles, 1 to Zach Dare and 1 to Chris Howe. And we saw in the 3rd inning, Jay Miller had a battling at bat with Saunders. Threw something like 10 or 11 pitches to him at least. And if you're the Eagles right now, you'd love to get 2 runners on and a chance to get someone on the board.
Jeske, Andrew Jeske will refresh himself. Umpire calls time. Chan checks back over to first base. Saunders looking in at his catcher Simons for the pitch. 2 gone, top of the 5th inning. Only 2 hits given up by Elijah Saunders. Checks at the chest. Saunders on the 3-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Saunders doing work. And he gets out of the jam. Leaves a runner on first base. The kid can do it all. He's pitching a shutout through 5 innings as we make our way to the bottom of the 5th here at AT&T Park in San Francisco.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game that you are enjoying here tonight? Then please tell your school to sign up for the Play on Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities such as graduations on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Blue, Vaughn, and Schur to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. And how appropriate here at AT&T Park as we reach the bottom of the 5th inning. They do a 5th inning stretch for the crowd that's on hand. The high school level, they play 7 innings as opposed to the pros playing 9. So now would be the time in the game to play that most famous organ tune of all.
Yes, indeed. Good turnout, though, to say the least.
Absolutely.
Of the Lowell and Washington fans that have come down here this afternoon. The weather has been acceptable. The Seagulls, of course, are everywhere, but that's to be expected at this time of day following a Giants game. But
the
overall,
Seagulls are a staple.
Yeah.
Of San Francisco professional baseball.
But overall, a great atmosphere, and it's really great to see all the fans that have come out here to see a high school baseball championship game.
Those Seagulls stick around because they know all the goodies are down there in the seats.
Yeah, all the Crack-a-Jack.
All the leftovers. It's Thanksgiving Day every day for the Seagulls here in San Francisco. Vaughn Blue at the plate to start the bottom of the 5th inning. He takes the first pitch for a strike. Blue grounded out in the 2nd inning, walked in the 3rd. Has the count at 0-1 to longman pitcher Christopher Yee, who throws that one in there for a strike. 0-2. Quickly to Blue.
Don't forget, he did a good job of getting out of that inning. He got both Simons and Glickfeld to fly out to right field to end the inning.
As this one swung right back at Yee. Shortstop will try to get it, but it goes through the hands. So Blue will reach safely at first. The shortstop hand tried to come over there and just barehand it, but couldn't corral it. That'll be a base hit for Vaughn Blue.
That's the play he dreamed about last night, barehanding the ball down there at short and firing across the first, but fortunately couldn't get a hand on the ball that time. And blue is aboard.
So blue is aboard. And this will be the number 6 hitter. Josh Vaughn at the plate, right-handed hitter. Big lead over at first by blue as the first pitch misses for ball 1.
So it'll give blue a single then on the previous.
I count that one as a single. The bear hop, that was a tough one because it was back towards the pitcher. And it went towards the left side of the shortstop. That one swung on and missed. Actually, it was fouled off. Fouled off, so no advancement by the first base runner. Vaughn flied out back in the second and third, 0 for 2 in this evening's matchup. Has the count go 1-1. That one bounces well in front of the catcher, Chim, and blue will advance easily to second. He's going to leg it out to third. And he's into third base sliding. So a pass ball results in not 1 but 2 bases for Vaughn Blue.
Well, I got to give him credit because when he turned around second, he was starting to hold up his stride, but he was keeping an eye on Chim the whole time. Chim, a little lackadaisical perhaps, going to the backstop to get the ball, didn't expect the running to keep going. And now all of a sudden, blue is on third.
2-1 delivery, swung on and crushed towards center field. Miller on the move, can't get it. The run will score easily as blue will strike home plate, and Vaughn gets an RBI double.
How about that? Vaughn absolutely crushed that one to left center field, and you figure with pretty much any other ballpark these guys play at, that has a chance of going out because it certainly had the distance and the height, but no chance for the center fielder Miller there to make a play.
Miller saw that one going over his head, so he quickly turned his hitch into a giddy-up and was on the move towards that center field wall as that ball went clear over his head. Run scores. It's now 7-0 Lowell. Bunt down the third baseline. That's Worth. Throw over to first in time for the out. The runner advances to third base. So Ryan Worth with a quick throw down bunt.
Sure.
Or Sure, I beg your pardon. Correction, Jasper Sure, first baseman, getting a little trigger happy. Worth now coming up to the plate. So once again, Jasper Sure with the bunt brings up Ryan Worth. One gone. And runner advances to third base, and that is Josh Vaughn, who just a few moments ago had an RBI double. That pitch misses for ball 1 to Ryan Worth. Here comes the 1-0. And Yee misses low. 2-0 to Ryan Worth. Worth grounded out back in the second inning, and he reached on air in the fourth. Christopher Yee with a long look in. Now he sets and delivers. And this one's outside, brings it to 3-0. Jesse Tom on deck, the number 9 hitter. And Christopher Yee would like to avoid that lineup turning over. Here's the 3-0. And that's in there for a strike. So Josh Vaughn on third base. Takes a hefty lead. Infield playing in, looking for the possible play at home plate. 7-0 Lowell. Swung on and fouled at home plate. It actually appeared to foul off the mound, hit the catcher, and then roll into fair play. So the home plate umpire does what any good home plate umpire does, takes his time, giving the respect to the catcher, because anyone that has ever put on a catcher's mask and played behind the plate knows just how much that stings to take a foul ball off a body part.
Sure.
That brings the count full on that previous foul tip, so 3-2 to Ryan Worth. Catcher Chim setting up outside. Here's the 3-2, and this one's fouled sharply down the left field line. We'll do it again.
Good battling a bat here by Ryan Worth. As the count goes full. comfortable lead for Lowell now.
1 run crossing the plate in this inning. 4 in the previous. 2 in the third. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Worth couldn't get the bat head on the ball, and that'll go down as a strikeout. And so there are now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
And the first strikeout of the afternoon for Washington pitchers.
Jesse Tom now, number 9 hitter, strokes it to center field directly at Miller. Miller didn't have to move. It was a sharp hit ball. But that will be the 3rd out of the inning. And that will bring the top of the order the next time we come around for the Lowell Cardinals. They put up 1 run in the 5th, and they now lead this ball game 7-0 as we make our way to the 6th inning here at AT&T Park in San Francisco, California.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information as well as links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action that you see every week in your destination for high school sports. PlayOnSports.com. Top of the 6th inning, and Elijah Saunders is having a game to cherish here at the moment. As we mentioned, 3 for 3 with 3 doubles. 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, a stolen base, but on top of that, he is pitching a gem as well. Through 5 innings, just 2 hits given up, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and he's certainly an early candidate for our Play On Sports player of the game.
I tell you what, it'd be hard to pick anybody else at this point. He's doing it all. And at the high school level, typically you have at least one player that you can rely on. I mean, heck, if you want to use the term your best player, that's fine. At the high school level, you've got a guy that can be a stud pitcher and a stud hitter. And that's exactly what Elijah Saunders is. 3 for 3 today, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs, a stolen base, pitching a shutout, only giving up 2 hits. I mean, what more could you ask from your senior leader? This kid is doing it all. This will be a performance that he's going to remember for a long time.
Emmanuel Lee of the San Francisco Examiner wrote a great article about Saunders and how after a standout junior season he's taken his game to another level. And I think that proof is in the pudding here tonight with his dominant performance both on the mound and at the bat as well. Pitches fouled in a great diving grab made by Simons for the first out of the inning. How about that play, Sean?
I tell you what, Simons has made 2 great plays prior to this. That was a phenomenal play from behind home plate, diving to his right, extending that catcher's mitt out, and corralling that baseball in. He was elevated as he caught that ball. What a play by the Cardinal catcher. Wow.
Full stretch. We didn't get a chance to say Jay Miller's at the bat, but he's gone on the first pitch. And now here's Wilson swinging at the first pitch. Great play made by the third baseman. Fires across in time. And just like that, 2 outs as Ryan Worth, fires across the diamond to get that second out.
Yeah, Wilson almost beat that out. It was a close play at first. Wilson, a speedster, that leadoff hitter. But he grounds out right there. Man, not the way you want this inning to go for Washington. If anything, try to work that count and get Saunders out of there. Instead, swinging early. 2 quick outs.
2 pitches, 2 outs. And Yee takes the first pitch for a ball. So Yee, his 3rd at bat of the game, popped out to right in the first inning. Fielder's choice, 6-4 for the second out of the 4th inning. So his 3rd at bat. Looking to make something happen. That's a smartly hit ball to right field. It should drop in for a hit, and it does, despite the best efforts of Saunders to cover the bag. Good throw in there from Glickfeld. Almost got Yee, but he's on base with a single.
Well, how about Yee? He takes over at the pitcher's role. He's able to stroke one to right field, falls in between the first baseman and right fielder, and he picks up his team's 3rd hit, just the 3rd hit for Washington here this afternoon. And right away, that coaching staff bringing him over a pitcher's jacket as he stands on first base.
Here's a man at the plate with one of those base hits for Washington, Chris Howe. Zach there getting the other base hit back in the 2nd inning. So a runner on here with 2 outs for Washington, trailing by 7, Saunders' first delivery is outside for ball one.
Howe had that single in the fourth. He advanced on that overthrow, so he also has one of the 3 hits for Washington.
Oh, you're right. That's correct. So three hits, one of those by Howe. And he's got a count in his favor here. 2 balls, no strikes.
And Yee on first takes a slim lead. Almost wonder, as that pitch goes in for a strike, if he should be taking something a little bit more. I don't think Saunders will worry about him too much with a 7-0 advantage.
Yeah. Saunders just catches the outside corner of the plate. 2-1 the count then. On the first base side, Saunders goes inside that time. We've seen how the Washington batters have crowded the inside portion of the plate that time. Saunders tells Howe to back off a little bit. 3-1 now the count.
And the way Howe jerked his left shoulder in towards the pitch, I mean, from this angle, I know we're up at the broadcast booth here at AT&T. It almost looked like it grazed his jersey, but
yeah,
he's right back in there for the full count.
Short lead taken at first. Delivery's fouled off into the screen, so the count goes full here to Chris Howe. Zach Deere would follow. 2 outs in the inning. Full count delivery. Pitch is swung on, foul back into the stands. A couple of sections to the right of our vantage point here at AT&T Park, and a souvenir for one of the grounds crew.
That's a souvenir any way you look at it. I don't care.
He's going to throw it back.
Well, maybe at the high school level you give it back.
Full count, runner goes, and it's a walk. So Yee advances to second. Howe is on with a walk.
And that's just the third walk by Saunders, and that will draw a walk to the mound by Coach John Donahue.
Good opportunity here for Washington to at least try and claw their way back into this game, trailing by 7, but with 2 runners on, and Zach Deere at the bat. Deere with a single back in the second, went out 6-3 in the fourth, the third out of that inning. So certainly the Lowell coaching staff will want to ensure Saunders gets through this final batter of the inning here, assuming they get him out.
Well, now you got Deere at the plate, and he had the team's first hit back in the second inning, but he was caught stealing, so 1 for 2. This is the area of the lineup, if any area, that can do damage. So you've got runners on second and first. Both those runners have hits in this game. We'll see if Deere can bring them in.
Here's the first delivery then to Deere, over for a strike, and really the bottom of the lineup for Washington has not picked up the slack like they did against Balboa in the 10-5 victory in the semifinal. 10 at bats, just 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts for the 5 through 9 batters in the order. There's another delivery over the plate for a strike, so quickly Deere down 2 strikes here. Whatever they said to Saunders there in that conference on the mound appears to be paying off. 2 runners on, then Yee on second, Howe on first, following the walk issued by Saunders.
And there's a big gap over in left center. We'll see if Deere can squeeze one in that gap. If he can, it'll put a point on the board for Washington, a much-needed point to get rid of that goose egg.
That ball goes through the legs of Simons, so both runners will advance. Yee was thinking about turning the corner there, and they'll hold him up at third. So both runners advance a base on the pass ball. Washington would really like to get on the board here if they can. It's not through lack of opportunities. They've had runners on base, as we've mentioned so far today, but combination of poor base running and the arm of Jake Simons have really snuffed out any opportunities the Eagles have had. Perhaps their best so far here with 2 outs. Runners on second and third. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery is over for a strike. Dia can't believe it. He has a word for the umpire as he leaves, but the 5th strikeout of the afternoon for Elijah Saunders. Dia's gone looking, and through 5.5, it's Lowell 7, Washington 0.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows your school to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. Once again, that's playonsports.com/SBP. And folks, a quick reminder, stick around for the playonsports.com post-game show where Stephen and I will select our Play On Sports player of the game, and we'll have a nice little wrap-up about that particular player from this matchup. That's all following the action right here on your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
Lowell back at the plate. Chris Yee still out on the mound then Chris Howe, still out on the mound for Washington. And, Lowell can certainly taste victory now, just an inning and a half away. I wasn't mistaken. It was Christopher Yee out on the mound there for Washington. But the pitching has struggled here today, to be sure, for Washington. I don't think it's what Coach Fung expected coming into this game.
No, I don't think it was, because you got to figure Kyle Hu was so dominant in that pitching performance back on April the 24th, giving up just 1 run through 6 innings pitched. He picked up a W in that matchup as Washington defeated Lowell 4-1. On the flip side, it's Saunders. It's really all about Saunders. The kid has been the driving force for Lowell in this particular matchup, and we're going to get a chance to see him bat here in the 6th inning. He's got 3 doubles. Can he, if he makes it 4, I might do a cartwheel in this press box. I mean, this kid is just downright impressive. He's having himself a heck of a ball game.
It's Leon, Saunders, and Simons then in the bottom of the 6th inning. And these have really been the batters that Washington have struggled with all day long. Aforementioned Saunders with the 3 doubles, of course, the standout performance so far as the first delivery to Leon is outside. And really, you think Simons, with the kind of contact he's been making today, is overdue a hit. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. That pitch is over for strikes, so the count evens at 1-1 to Leon. Hu and Yee combined on the victory over Balboa, with Hu going 3 innings, Yee going 4, giving up just 5 hits and 4 runs on the day. But Balboa Buccaneers bats, certainly not the caliber of this Lowell squad. 2-1 now to Leon. These deliveries outside, 3-1.
Leon, patient hitter. He showed that throughout the afternoon, walked in the 3rd. He actually got an RBI over in the 4th inning as he was able to bring in a runner in the latter portion of the lineup.
That's drilled to the left, but playable. Diaz underneath that one for the first out. Well, here it is. Is it cartwheel time for Mr. Hennessy? We'll find out in due course as Leon flies out to left and Saunders steps to the dish. Quite the line for the senior. As we mentioned, 3 doubles, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, a stolen base. Saunders fans at the first delivery from Yee.
Actually, they checked that for 3 RBIs. Picked up an RBI back in the 3rd, then knocked in 2 in the 4th. Not to mention the stolen base. I mean, he is a crucial part to this offensive attack. And he's done a great job here this afternoon as that one misses for 1-1.
1-1 indeed to Saunders. Yeah, that's the line. 3 doubles, stolen base, 2 RBIs, 2 runs. So, either way, it's a great line to have. Here's the 1-1. Pitch is swung on, grounded to second base. They're underneath it. Saunders hustles down the line, but a nice play made by Kyle Hood, fire across to Wilson in time for the second out. So unfortunately, no cartwheels here in the press box, but that does bring up Jake Simons. As we mentioned, Simons, you think, is overdue a hit. Has made great contact here today, and certainly even with that acrobatic dive for the first out back in the top of the sixth inning, his day would not be complete without a base knock.
Yeah. No, he made contact every time, I tell you what. Even on that stroke right there, he nearly had a chance to beat it out at first.
You think back to the first inning, Simons flied out to left, but that was swinging on the first pitch after Saunders crushed the double. Takes a strike there. So 0-1 the count.
And I tell you what, Steven, I owe you an apology. I agree with the folks here at AT&T. 2 RBIs count that for Saunders, looking up at the monitor in center field.
Ball low for, or pitch low for ball, I should say. So the count evens at a ball and a strike.
Accuracy always important.
That's why we're both keeping score, I suppose. Here's the 1-1. That pitch is swung on, and Simons, that stays up just a little bit too long. And we haven't mentioned it, but Andrew Jeske out there in right field has had to make some difficult catches on the run here. Another fine example of that as he ranges out to his right to reel in that deep fly ball from Simons. So he's gone as he flies out to right. And with 6 complete, Lowell are an inning away from the 18th title as they lead 7-0.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up all the high school action every week and keep up with all the high school action every week. From your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. And folks, don't forget the San Francisco section and the Oakland section spring playoff championships are right here. They're right around the corner, so make sure you tune in to PlayOnSports.com. We'll be covering everything here in just the next few days.
So going back to that article by Emmanuel Lee in the San Francisco Examiner, and a couple of quotes stand out here, and this is from Saunders himself. I don't throw my fastball that hard, but it has good movement. My slider is my best off-speed pitch. My curve and my changeup are more field pitches. Some days they're on, some days they're not. When my curve and changeup are on, that is when I'm at my best. And I think it's safe to say that every pitch in his repertoire has been on point here this afternoon.
They've been on point. You know, he had 3 walks, but he's only given up 3 hits in this matchup. He's pitching a goose egg. And right now, as we make our way to the 7th, he's got a chance to wrap up this game, not only with a goose egg, not only with putting up 2 RBIs, 3 doubles, but he's got a shot at closing this thing out and capturing the 2013 San Francisco section baseball title for Lowell and steal it away from Washington, who was going for 3 in a row.
Yeah, Lowell, as we mentioned, looking for the 18th title. It's been 4 years since they last won the Academic Athletic Association title. They won 8 of 10 between 1994 and 2003. And in those 4 years since their last title, they won 11 out of the 14. And Saunders now is 3 outs away from making it a reality here in 2012, 2013. So it'll be Hu, Chim, and Chan. The final gasp here for Washington. A 7-run advantage they need to cut into here. And the first pitch to Hu is a strike. Hu 0 for 2 on the day, popped out to right in the second. It's out 4-3 in the 5th. And Hu fouls that off right side. He's quickly down 2 strikes. Saunders credits the Lowell pitching coach, Emil DeAndreas, who's helped Saunders both on and off the field. And perhaps the greatest challenge, or the greatest change in Saunders' career was realizing to play the game of baseball is more of a privilege than a right. And he's credited DeAndreas with adjusting his attitude towards the game. And I think it's safe to say that all that hard work he's put into his game has paid off here today. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Hu. Here's a delivery, grounded foul to the third base side. So Hu stays alive. Catch a Chim to follow.
And give credit to Kyle Hu. Had a first couple good innings, and then that middle portion really got to him. Switched over to second base. looking at his last at-bat here as a Washington Eagle.
Delivery's high. Count goes 2-2. And it'd be nice for him to finish off his high school career here and get on base one more time.
It would be nice for him to get on first just so I could say who's on first.
Unfortunately, he strikes out, so we don't get a cartwheel or the chance for Sean to say that. So who's the first out of the inning? Garrett Chim to the plate.
I was so hoping for it, too.
I don't know what to say to that. One out then in the inning. Here's Garrett Chim. Ryan Chan to follow. Saunders fastball finds the outside corner for a strike. He's been getting that outside call pretty much all day. Paints the corner there for strike one.
Saunders still throwing the ball nice.
Yeah.
His velocity has kept up all the way here through the seventh. Haven't seen a dip.
That's perhaps what we saw in Calhoun early, is you can see you can see it start to unravel. Not the case though with Saunders here. 1-1 the count. Pitch is chopped. Tough play. Worth comes across, not in time. Gets through the first baseman, sure, but not far enough for Chim to advance past first. So Chim has a single, and Washington have a base runner here with one out, and Ryan Chan, a right-handed bat, at the plate. So the fourth hit of the day then for Washington.
And Chim was hustling on that. He didn't pause for a second. As soon as he struck that ball out of the batter's box, he was Oscar Mike down to first on the move, and he was able to beat it out.
Third baseman playing in here for Lowell. Ryan Chan at the bat. And he takes a strike. Late call there by the umpire. That single by Chim. The first time anyone in the bottom of the order has got on base today. And they've struggled mightily. That pitch outside there, so count evens at 1-1.
No, you hit the nail on the head there, Stephen. The latter portion of this lineup has really been unheard of in this championship game. All the hits coming from the starting portion.
Chan, the only player actually to get on base with the walk back in the fifth.
Yeah.
And with Lowell's obvious prowess at the bat, you need everyone to pick it up a little bit, and that's not been the case, unfortunately, for Washington today. 2-1 the count. Previous pitch was a ball, so Saunders from the first base side delivers. That's outside. 3-1. Patience pays off, I think, here for Washington at the moment. It certainly would help if Washington could get 2 on and 1 out. Still an awful lot of work to do, but that's going to be strike 2 right over the heart of the plate. Saunders already with 5 Ks on the day. Or 6 strikeouts, pardon me. Here's a delivery, and swung on a miss. He got him. Chan goes down swinging. And now Mike Andrzejewski represents the last chance here for Washington.
He gone, and Saunders continues to roll with 2 gone. This is it. Get ready to watch the Lowell faithful go crazy. 1 out away. And Steven, I'll let you drive it home, buddy.
Last potential at bat then for Washington in the form of Mike Andrzejewski. Takes strike 1. Lowell fans on their feet. It's been 4 long years since they last won the title. In the remarkable coaching career of John Donahue, his 31st season here. That delivery's over the outside corner of the plate. Elijah Saunders has been the best player on this Lowell team since day one. The best pitcher, perhaps in the entire league. If there was any doubt, he's shown it here tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Delivery is outside for a ball. Andrew Jeske remains alive. 6 2/3 innings, 4 hits given up, 3 walks, 7 Ks for Saunders. 3 for 4 at the plate, 3 doubles, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored on the stolen base. And a chance now to bring the title home to Lowell. Here it is, the delivery. Off speed, he got him looking. He's gone. Lowell win their 18th title, the first one in 4 years. And what a performance by Elijah Saunders. And if there was any doubt, he is obviously the Play On Sports player of the game. What a performance, Sean.
Phenomenal performance. Elijah Saunders being bombarded by his teammates at the pitcher's mound as they celebrate a 7-0 victory. He earns the shutout. I think we touched on both parts of his performance here this afternoon. His offensive prowess was unbelievable, capturing 3 doubles, 2 RBIs, getting a stolen base, but his pitching performance was equal to match. A 7-inning shutout, only gave up 4 hits. And how about that strike 3 looking to capture that San Francisco section title?
3 strikeouts in that top of the 7th inning. Only the single to Chim, ruining what would have been a picture-perfect performance to end this game. Final totals, Lowell 7 runs and 7 hits and 1 error. Washington, no runs, 4 hits, 3 errors. They left 4. Lowell left 5. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back to go over this game, even though we kind of gave away the post-game show, but that doesn't matter because I think it was pretty obvious. But we'll be back in just a second. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned to Play On Sports' coverage of the 2013 Academic Athletic Association's Baseball Championship. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to AT&T Park. Lowell convincing victors over George Washington 7-0 for their 18th title and their first in 4 years. They were the dominant team in the 90s and the early 2000s, but it's been 4 long years since they brought the title back to Lowell High School, and they did it in sub style here today, Sean.
They did a phenomenal job. They were led by the ace, Elijah Saunders. We've talked about his stats throughout the entire matchup. He was the driving force in this afternoon's victory, and I've got to give a large kudos over to his catcher, Jake Simons.
Yeah.
He did a great job behind the dish. But before we start breaking down Lowell's championship victory, let's talk about Washington for a moment. They started this game off with their ace on the mound. It was Kyle Hu, who kind of kick-started their performance this evening. Back on the 24th, he was able to defeat Lowell 4-1 and pick up that victory. Didn't have his stuff here this afternoon. He was pulled during the middle portion of the innings. Christopher Yee came on to replace him. You got to give credit to this team, though. A record of 13-14 does not show how good they were throughout this season. They were able to make it to this point in the San Francisco section finals. Tip of the cap to Washington. They did a great job. They were unable to get it here today, but they were definitely a worthy opponent. They
roared back, to win 7 of the last 10 games and actually put themselves in the position to be in this game.
Yeah.
Certainly a credit to the players and to Coach Fung. And they'll be back. They've got some guys coming back next year to be sure. Jordan Wilson will be back as a senior. Zach Deere as well. Ryan Chan will be back. So they've definitely got some guys here that they can build their campaign around next season. And it'll be interesting to see how they get on. They won back-to-back championships, denied the three-peat, but they'll be there or thereabouts in 2013, 2014.
No, definitely. I totally agree with you. And you look down at that roster, I see a lot of JRs indicating juniors that will be seniors next year that will have this type of experience. Anytime you get a chance to play in a championship game, anytime you get a chance to play in a championship game at a pro ballpark, all that does is develop momentum and senior leadership for the next year to come. So those juniors, take this moment in, know what it feels like to be defeated here, and to feel this, experience it, and take it to next year. Use it, take it into next year, and I guarantee it will help Washington for all those juniors who will be seniors next year.
But Lowell, really from the get-go, we're definitely in the driver's seat, and it certainly helped with Saunders getting things going in the first inning with a double, and it was a sign of things to come.
It was a sign of things to come. He kick-started it with a double, and then, it was unfortunate for him because we totally forget he was tagged out at home plate on the awkward play towards the infield, the overthrow at third base. He was tagged out in the first inning, and then it was pretty quiet. It wasn't until the third when we first started to see the scoring come around. The Cardinals tacked up 2 runs in the third inning. In the next inning, they put up 4 big runs and really keeled it open, 6-0, tacked on 1 more in the 6th to make it 7 total runs. 2 of those runs coming by Elijah Saunders, 3 doubles here in the matchup. The kid had a great game. And then Jake Simons behind the plate. He had a phenomenal showing as well. Tacked on an RBI, threw out 2 runners on the base paths.
Made the acrobatic dive to his right there.
That's right.
For an out. And go back to Saunders real quick. I know we've said a lot about him today, but he said before that his in previous seasons he could have got upset. In that first inning when he was thrown out the plate, you could tell he was obviously fired up when he went back to the dugout. But he put it all behind him, went back out on the mound, took the side out there in the second inning, and really after the hit started flowing, he showed that he's the class of this game, to be sure.
And, Stephen, that's a great point because he's a senior. What he has to do at that particular point in the game is realize, okay, I've been tagged out. I've got to set an example now, not only for my fellow seniors but for my underclassmen that are watching this game, because he's going to set the tone when he goes back out in that next inning. And sure enough, he did. He set the tone in the next inning and was able to go 1, 2, 3 through the second, 1, 2, 3 through the third. I mean, he just kept pounding away at that strike zone and was able to start to rack up strikeouts from the third inning on. And it really set the tone. The rest of his team caught on.
Senior-heavy team, to be sure, here. Vaughn, Shearer, Tom, Saunders, Simons all playing their last, Leon too, and Glickfeld all playing their last game for Lowell here today. So they've certainly got a recovery season with some young guys coming up next year, to be sure. But Vaughn Blue showed signs of promise as a sophomore. And it'll be interesting to see next year how Lowell respond now that they're the champions and have the targets on their backs.
No, definitely, because it's a turning of the tide. So Washington can't capture that third elusive title. It goes over to Lowell because it's a bit of a rivalry. They have won the past several titles. It's kind of switched back and forth between these two schools here in San Francisco. So I really like that. It creates an inner-city rivalry. And they all know that the ultimate goal is to get to AT&T. This is the Mecca. This is the home where that championship game is going to be played. And so it just gives that much more for these underclassmen to take away from today's victory if you're Lowell and today's loss if you're Washington.
It's a couple final things here to wrap it up. Definitely going to give thanks to the Giants because they've hosted the San Francisco Section Championship game since the mid-'90s back in the old Candlestick Park days. Now moved to course, over here to AT&T Park. So certainly a thrill, not only for the players and the coaches, but for us as well to have the chance to broadcast the game.
Absolutely. Big thank you to the San Francisco Giants. Big thank you to the San Francisco Section Commissioner, Don Collins, for putting this thing all together, getting us out here, and giving us the opportunity to showcase the San Francisco Section baseball game here on PlayOnSports.com. And once again, what better venue to showcase it at than the home of the World Series champions, San Francisco Giants, AT&T Park. Big kudos. Thank you guys very much.
Since 1989, only 3 other teams have won the San Francisco Section title. It is something exclusively between Lowell and Washington as these two teams battle once again. Lowell winning their 18th title here at AT&T Park this afternoon. The final score, ladies and gentlemen, Lowell 7, Washington 0. For all of us here at Play on Sports, for our videographer, Hans Webb, our producer, Michael Cronenwet, and for Sean Hennessy, my name is Stephen Davies. Thanks for joining us. We can't wait to see you on Friday night for the Boys Volleyball Championship. So be sure to join us at 6 o'clock this coming Friday. To all of you listening at home, thanks for listening. Goodbye for now.